This has got some great information about Team Decibri. You'll often hear, I've always heard it referred to as Team Desobri, until I watched a video of William Desobri calling himself William Decibri. So we'll go with what he called himself. He's a major in command of the 20th Armored Infantry Battalion. He's got some elements of the 10th Armored Division with him. He's got the Scratch Force. So when he gets sent up here, before the 101st is able to come, he's going to be manning this, defending this road intersection. And it's all those guys, particularly from the 28th Division, that are coming down this road heading into Bastogne. And that's where a lot of the guys are not going to have weapons, and they've lost their cohesion. Decibri was ordered that any infantrymen he was supposed to pick up and incorporate them into his defensive force. He looked at most of the people coming through and said they were going to be of no help. You know, keep going. There was actually a small cavalry unit that came in as a cohesive unit and volunteered to stay and fight. Eventually, he does put together like about a platoon size element, about 30-40 guys of infantry. But basically, at the first shot, those guys are so messed up, they go straight and hide in the cellar. Decibri's command post is in the yellow building. Jim Laprade and his 1st Battalion are going to come in and reinforce. And even though Laprade by then is a lieutenant colonel, Decibri's a major, Laprade says, look, you're in charge here. Where do you want my guys? And so the guys from 1st Battalion are spread out into the fields around. The Germans are going to launch armor attacks. We're going to fight back. There's going to be some unfortunate things where we've got Shermans firing on Shermans. The key thing is Decibri and the 1st Battalion slow the Germans down. If they had not defended this intersection through the 18th and the 19th and into the 20th, the Germans could have had an open road and straight into Bastogne. As I said earlier, the 1st Battalion, particularly Able Company, are going to suffer enormous casualties and essentially be combat ineffective for the rest of the time. Now, Noville was liberated just like Bastogne in September, and all the locals were happy. As the Germans come in and take Noville on the 21st of December, the Gestapo comes with them. And they round up all the men in town here in the center, and they start questioning them, asking them about the Americans, but also asking about liberation celebrations back in September. They wanted to know who it was. And eventually, everyone but 9 people were taken into custody, but nothing happened to them. The other 9 people were brought right back here behind the church and executed, one at a time, bullet to the back of the head, including the local priest. On here you'll see 8 names. There's a separate memorial to the priest inside the church, as well as to the rest of them. But this is where, I mean, this shows you the cruelty of a fascist totalitarian state, that any resistance, and it wasn't even resistance, it was just joy at being liberated. know, they were just picked as town leaders. For part of it was random, and part of it was that they determined they were, you know, elders of the town, leaders of the town, and they're going to be executed as examples. And the bodies wouldn't be properly recovered until Easy Company moves through here. And that's not going to be until the late the 14th of January. So when we talk about the attack on Foy, you know, being a Tuesday, it's because the attack on Foy, they did it, and they went back up into positions, they got shelled by Germans, and then they attacked Racone, and then they attacked Cabru. Even though there was less resistance than at Foy, they're going to move through Cabru all day, cross the open snow, and come and take with relatively light resistance because the Germans were pulling back. But you know, the town is destroyed. Actually, stepping back to December, when Jim LaPrade of 1st of the 506, he's in the command post with William Desabry. When the Germans are attacking, there is actually a warrant officer, maintenance guy, who's in kind of in a maintenance vehicle, and he needed to let Major Desabry know that he had been able to fix they had some cavalry scout cars that were broken, and he pulled up and in view of the Germans stopped in front of that building, and I don't know, I believe it was artillery, I don't know if it was a tank, but as soon as that guy goes into the building, the Germans recognize that it must be important, and it might be the command post. It gets a direct hit, and that's where Jim LaPrade is going to be killed, and William Desabry is going to be seriously wounded and taken prisoner. Finish out the war, but as you can see there, he stays in the Army and retires as a 3-star general. And he would come back many times because his own feelings about not being able to hold this town, especially when they found out about the execution of the 9 inhabitants here. So, what I'd like to do now is just walk up, just straight up here. Please be careful. To the church, there's also a little memorial on the other side. Just please be wary of traffic, and then we'll head back towards the bus.